Okay, if you're starting to log in on YouTube, we've not yet started the video on Instagram. Waiting till about 6:30. In about 20 seconds or so, we'll start the Instagram video, and we'll give about a 10-second countdown to begin the show. And all right, so we got a pickle here, huh? Pickle, 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 pickle. Okay, put that setting on live. Instagram live. Start live video. Checking the connection. Okay, there is a pickle here, and the pickle will be greeting you. So, we're going to begin the live show in 15 seconds with the pickle. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello and welcome to Locker Live on Instagram and on YouTube. In case you can't tell, I'm pointing to my Instagram camera and to my YouTube camera. Okay, so welcome to all those of you who are joining. Again, this is our weekly 15-minute live show where we have a Rabbi Locker top 10 list and live Stump the Rabbi. If you are logging on and you have any questions that you'd like to ask, feel free to comment them onto the YouTube or Instagram, and or text them to me if you have my number, and I will get them hopefully during the course of the show. Feel free to comment anything at all, make a shout out, make a comment on a question. This is an interactive show. Once again, we do it just about every week on Tuesday night. Now, next Tuesday night, we will not be having the show. We have a Mazel Tov. It is the bas mitzvah of my daughter Tova. So I won't be live next Tuesday. But those of you who are living in Las Vegas, Sunday morning, all kids are invited to the Locker Sukkah for Donut Hut. Those are donuts and sukkah. And, of course, Sunday evening, 4:30 at Tivoli Village, a big family sukkah festival. So here we go. We're going to get started. We had a thinking question that we started with last week. Thank you, Naomi. I will definitely tell Tova that you said that. We had a thinking question last week. I believe it was Sarah, who's online now, who asked the following question. And that is, can you be forgiven on Yom Kippur even if you don't do the traditional prayer services? So we had Yom Kippur. We had some time to think about it. So Yom Kippur, there's so much praying. There's hours and hours and hours. Let's say you don't do the traditional prayers. Can you still get forgiven? Okay, so I want to see if anyone wants to comment in or think about it at all. But here we have it. I'll let you guys think about it for another couple of minutes and text in any other questions you have as well. In the meantime, I want to show you my sukkah. Like my sukkah? It's very pretty. But right now, the sukkah, it's got a floor. It's got 3 walls. It's got no ceiling. So you got to make sure that your ceiling is tzrach. It's got to be made out of something grows from the ground. So here's green. So here's a schach. And here we have our kosher sukkah. And I just lost my sukkah. Speaking of sukkah and sukkah walls, that's going to be our top 10 list for a while. It's going to be really cool. Nadav, I have no idea what you said yes to, but nice to see you. All right, so the thinking question we started with last week, we'll answer it, and feel free to message in questions as you do it. So again, Sarah was asking, is it true? Do you need the prayers, the traditional prayers of Yom Kippur, to get forgiven for things we've done wrong? The answer is absolutely not. Not at any level. There's 3 things you need to be forgiven. 3 things you need to get forgiven. And those are feeling bad, feeling sorry that you did it, admitting what you did, and making sure you don't do it again. For most things, that's all you need. If you also hurt a person or you owe a person money, then you need to make it right. But other than that, that's all you need to get forgiven. Now, praying helps. Praying helps us feel bad. Praying helps us realize that we shouldn't do it again in the future, but it's and it helps God forgive us. But if we go ahead and we do those steps, we are good, we are set, we're doing tshuva. Now, the prayers in Yom Kippur are very important, they're great, and they're meaningful, and a person should do as much as they can. But, thank you, Aaron, but a person can get forgiven without them. What's up, Aaron? Shout out, hey, all the way from Minnesota. How's the weather out there? I hope it's not too cold. Not too cold. Here is beautiful. Aw, thanks, Aaron. That's very, very sweet. All right, so here we go. I'm going to start with the top 10 at this point because I love it. I'm excited about this week's top 10. I think it's funny, and feel free to comment your own. Again, I'll post it up on Facebook as well. So, here we go. So, moving on to our top 10. Okay. Let's do top 10 first, and we'll see if we can address Nadav's question. So, as we know, the rule is that sukkah, right, the sukkah roof, the schach, has got to be made out of certain ingredients, certain materials. But for the most part, the walls can be made out of pretty much anything. Just about anything. It can be made out of Lego, it can be made out of bricks, it can be made out of wood, it can be made out of marshmallows, in theory, if they can hold up, as long as it can hold up the roof. Now, and it doesn't flap around too much in the wind. I made a top 10 list of the top 10 really bad materials to use for a sukkah wall. Things you don't want your sukkah wall to be made out of. Okay, so here we go. My top 10 list of things you do not want your sukkah to be made out of. Number 1, cactus. If you make a sukkah wall out of cactus, it's kosher, but I wouldn't recommend it. Right? You step the wrong way, probably not good for your clothing or for your comfort on Sukkot. Number 9, I would not want to make your sukkah wall out of shrink-a-dinks. Okay, you make it out of shrink-a-dinks wall, especially here in Vegas. It gets a little sunny, a little hot. Your sukkah might end up looking like my failed experiment here. Okay. Okay, that's number 8. Sorry, it's number 9. So cactus, shrink-a-dinks. Number 8. Items you do not want to make your sukkah walls out of is human hair. Ugh. It's brutal even thinking about that, but can you imagine getting like a few thousand wigs and shoving them together and making a human hair sukkah? I would not really love that. Number 7. Card towers. Right? You know how to make a tower out of cards? You stack them up. It could work, but I wouldn't recommend it because it probably isn't going to stand so long. Number 6, root beer cans. You don't want to make your sukkah out of root beer because root beer is terrible. You don't want to be anywhere near it. Okay? Stay away from the root beer. Do not want your sukkah wall to be made out of root beer. Number 5, item that you do not want your sukkah wall to be made out of, electrified fence. Highly recommended, stay away from making that your sukkah wall. I don't think it would be a great idea. Okay, again, if you're just joining, feel free to give a shout out. Feel free to ask a question or comment on a question. Nadav, Mountain Dew cans is a great thing to make your sukkah out of. Okay, so again, in the items we're not making a sukkah out of, number 10 was a cactus, number 9 was shrink-a-dinks, number 8, human hair. Number 7, card towers. Number 6, root beer cans. Number 5, electrified fence. Number 4, everyone's trying to chase Pokemon, at least they were a few months ago. You don't want your sukkah to be made out of Pokemon. Not because anything wrong with Pokemon. I want to make sure everyone knows I'm not biased or prejudiced against Pokemon, and Pokemon lives matter. However, you don't want people coming crashing through your sukkah looking for your Pokemon, so don't make your sukkah walls out of Pokemon. Number 3, beehives. Highly poor idea to make your sukkah out of beehives, okay, unless you can somehow control them, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay, Rabbi Gwertz, a great point. Saran wrap would be really uncomfortable to put on your sukkah. Number 2 on my list, ice cream. I would love a sukkah wall out of ice cream. It's amazing. And maybe if you're with Aaron, you're in Minnesota, you can make your sukkah wall out of ice cream. But if you live on the West Coast, you make your sukkah wall out of ice cream, it is not at all a good idea because it will not last more than about 30 seconds. And finally, number one item that I would not want to make my sukkah out of is pickle jars. Got my pickle jars. Not because I don't like them. Pickles are amazing. Because if the jars are there on my sukkah wall, how could I bear not eating them and drinking that delicious juice? And it would cause me a lot of pain. You're not supposed to have pain on the holidays. You're supposed to be very, very happy. Okay, so that's my top 10 list. Hope you enjoyed it. Now, I do want to mention your pickles. Oh, yeah, your pickles in camp. They were not terrible, were they? I don't remember. I started pickling some cauliflower this week. We'll see if it works out well. I do want to mention it's important, though this is supposed to be a fun thing. I think it would be inappropriate this week to have something here in Las Vegas without mentioning the fact that we feel significantly for the people who suffered in this week's tragedies in Las Vegas. And I hope everyone takes the time to pray sincerely for the recovery of those who are injured and ill, and hope that we are protected from future acts of evil and violence. I'm moving on to answer some of the questions. So Nadav had a question. He wants to know, on Rosh Hashanah, if your life went down, will Hashem make it a good year after Yom Kippur? So I'm not sure exactly what you mean, Nadav, but my basic attitude and approach to that question is, and thank you very much, David, for pointing it out, Chana Rachel Bat Sarah is a Jewish woman who was injured in the attack and definitely needs our prayers. Our life is very, very complicated, and God decides on Rosh Hashanah and on Yom Kippur, both of them together, what kind of potential we have for the year. Do we have the potential for great blessings or not? And if we have a rough week, Nadav, that doesn't mean our life is messed up. If you have an amazing week after Rosh Hashanah, it doesn't mean our life is sailing. Okay, it's a whole year and it's a long life. So we cannot, and this answers Nadav's and Sarah's question at the same time about being sick on Yom Kippur. Because we have a rough day or a rough week or a rough month, that doesn't tell us that God's decided to give us a bad year. Not on any level. It might be the best year ever. And if we have a really, really happy, fantastic year, that again does not mean that it's going to be on any level an amazing year. Maybe won't be. So we never know. We can never determine exactly from the first week exactly what's going on. We have a very special unplanned guest over here. Door's locked. Just for a minute here, those of you who were at Nageela last night got to see Zadie Locker, and he's just coming to wave and say hello into the Instagram and YouTube live feeds. Okay, wave. Hi, Zadie.
Hi, everybody.
That's my dad.
Have a great Yontif, a great holiday. Sukkot. Enjoy.
Okay,
Hope to
fantastic.
see you on Sunday.
Awesome. All right. Sarah Bernheim says Zadie Locker, and Nadav says hi. All right, shout out to all you guys. Okay, so we're nearing the end, nearing the close of our thing today. If we have one more quick question, I can do it. Sarah says, Soul misses you.
Sarah Bernheim?
Yeah. All right. At any rate, and all right, I'm getting distracted here. So yeah, my sukkah, my pickles. I got all my stuff here. See, you like my pickle? My pickle. Okay, so as we move on, we're going to sign off very shortly. Remember, next Tuesday we are not going to be on, so unfortunately. But definitely share this idea with your friends. Share the stream and the link with your friends. Get more people to sign on. We want to make this a great, long time event. I will comment on one comment we had back. All right. We usually do a thinking question before we end, so you can think of for next week, or in this case, I guess in 2 weeks when we resume. And that is, we're having a holiday of Sukkot, it's the holiday of joy. Okay, it's called Zman Simchasenu, the time of our joy. And it's a little bit odd if you think about it, and some of you guys might know the answer, but I want you to think about it. odd than the holiday that's meant for joy is the one holiday where we make ourselves least comfortable. You'd think the holiday of joy is the time when you get new couches and pump up the air conditioning and sit at a beautiful table with beautiful chairs and a very, very real, very comfortable ceiling. I don't want you to answer now, but if you have a good answer to it, then you should go ahead, text, email, Instagram, Facebook, message me somehow, give it to me, and I will try to give you a shout out next week. And as we sign off for this week, I wish all of you a happy holiday for Sukkot, which is starting this Wednesday night. I hope to see all of the Vegas people at least on Sunday at Tivoli Village. Nadav, how often do you Nageela? All day, every day. I have a great night.